If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again, and welcome to episode number 46 of the Inter Milan career mode here on FIFA 15. We're in the process of trying to bring in a new player, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. Obviously, as you can see, we have a game to deal with first. We're playing 17th placed Pescara. Now, I don't really know too much about them, to be completely honest, so having seen them just come up from the league below in Serie B, I'm not really too sure whether they're going to cause me any problems, or judging by their performances so far this season, I was expecting a walkover. I don't recognise any names in their starting lineup, to be completely honest, whether that's a slight on my football knowledge or whether that's because they really don't have any recognisable names in their lineup. I'm not sure, but I'm starting a very recognisable first team lineup for me. As you can see, Rodrigo and Icardi up top. Obviously, I've swapped Freddie Guarín and Moussa Sissoko around, so Guarín is now at CM and Sissoko is at Cam. We'll see if that can mean that Moussa can, kind of maraud forward a little bit more and be a little bit more involved in the attacking play, because I know Freddie Guarín will just push forward regardless. So we'll see if we can get some more goals out of Moussa Sissoko. They had the first chance here, though, with a free kick. Drew a good save out of Bernd Leno, which needed to be made. He's been making a couple of mistakes recently, Bernd Leno, but they're though making a decent save. Then we play through Rodrigo here. He's clean through one-on-one, and I really was expecting him to put that into the back of the net. You couldn't have even imagined how fast and hard my jaw hit the floor when he missed that. I was just flabbergasted that he'd been able to put that wide of the post, considering how great a goal scoring form he's been in recently. And then they went and drew another good save at the near post out of Bernd Leno. Again, a good save by Bernd, and again proving that perhaps positioning is at fault for the near post goals that a lot of people have been conceding recently, and it's a goalkeeper issue rather than perhaps the EA actually changing the gameplay to make near post goals or near post shots a little bit more overpowered. But then they went and hit the bar from a header at the back post, so I may have underestimated them at the beginning of the game, but they were causing me plenty of issues for concern here. But then we caught them on the counter-attack initially straight from that chance where they hit the bar, square it across to Mateo Kovacic. Brilliant first time hit. The weight of pass was perfect from Rodrigo, because you saw their defender slide in there and it missed his foot, missed his tippy toes by about a couple of millimetres. So the pass was literally inch perfect, and Kovacic's shot was also pretty much perfect, rifling it into the bottom corner to give us a 1-0 lead. Not necessarily at this stage a lead that we deserved, but we were going to get a second goal here just before half-time. Mistake from their goalkeeper, came out for it, didn't really claim it very well. Couldn't perhaps decide whether to catch it or punch it. In the end, just kind of made a mess of it and palmed it right to the feet of my Argentinian striker, who made it 2-0. And then a lovely through ball here from Kovacic up to Moussa Sissoko. Ends up with a good save by the goalkeeper, but then he makes another mistake, and you'll see from the replays this is actually going to go down as an own goal. He makes a good save, and then as he's getting up, he kind of swings his arm to help with momentum to get himself up off the floor and pushes the ball back into the goal net. So that's 3-0. Really unfortunate for him there. One of the most bizarre own goals I've seen in my FIFA career so far, so to speak. But as we can see in 10 minutes before time, we're actually going to make it 4. A little bit of a spoiler. Nice turn by Mauro Icardi. Drills it in the bottom corner. Nothing the goalkeeper could do about that one, although it was perhaps a little bit of dodgy technique from the goalkeeper there. He kind of dived with his hands in front of him as if he was trying to scoop it up, and it was kind of out of reach and already past him by the time he made that particular save. So maybe it's just the fact that he wasn't a very good goalkeeper, but we were able to get a convincing 4-0 victory. So that's 3 points to go towards our Champions League and maybe even Serie A title ambitions and campaign this season. And then we're looking to bring in one of these players. Obviously, I said in yesterday's episode that I was waiting to get at least partial scout reports back so we could see what people's stats were like. That's what we've done here, and Pedro Franco looks like a very, very good player, and he can apparently also play in CDM as well, so perhaps he would be the favourite to try and bring in for that role. But it does look like he's going to be very expensive, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to have the money to be able to bring him in. Initially, we'll try and use, obviously, the guy that we're trying to get out in that position, Hugo Campagnaro, as make weight. They want 16 million for him at the top end, and I've only got 7 plus a player or two to offer in return, so I'm not really too sure whether that's a feasible deal or not. Jason Murillo, though, or Murillo, is a player that definitely is attainable, and he's, as you guys led me to believe in the comments, heavily linked with Inter Milan in real life as well, so it might be rather fitting to bring him in if we can. I'm going to use Hugo Campagnaro as makeweight for all of these deals initially, just to see if they're interested in him. Also looking at Terence Congolo as well from Feyenoord. He looks pretty decent as well, although they're going to want about the maximum of what I can afford to pay in terms of a transfer fee, and then maybe we can get it down a little bit if we can offer them Campagnaro, or maybe even Charlotto because he's worth a little bit more at a later stage. Also looking at Chancel and Bemba as well. Not necessarily as emphatic when it comes to ability in the tackle, but he could be quite cheap, doesn't want much wage-wise, and is quite fast as well. So what he lacks in tactical ability or technical ability, he makes up for in physical presence. So perhaps could be a good option, and we'll try and work out a deal for him as well, offering 4 million plus, of course, Hugo Campagnaro. And then we're looking at Sekou Kouyaté as well, another player like Pedro Franco that could perhaps fill both roles that we're looking for at centre-back and in centre midfield as well. Not sure how much they'd want from him at West Ham, perhaps a little bit lower than what we've got, or a bit smaller transfer fee than our initial budget, so we could genuinely bring him in if we're able to get them to agree to a deal. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with all of those. And we did actually get the initial bid accepted for Chancel and Bemba, so we're offering him a contract, offering him a little bit less. Don't really want to give him 40 grand a week, and if I can get him to sign a squad rotation deal offer as well, then that would be absolutely perfect for me. And we will wait and see what happens with that particular one. We had the initial bid rejected for Terence Congolo, so I'm offering now 7 million plus Campagnaro, which was really at the upper reaches of what I can actually afford. Offering some cash plus Carrizzo now, the goalkeeper, for Jason Murillo, and they rejected that, so we'll offer Charlotto as well, or instead, as £3.7 million. And unfortunately, Pedro Franco, they still, despite being interested in Charlotto, want £16 million. So it looks as if the same circumstances with Franco are going to affect the deal the same way they did with Pereira from Udinese. Unfortunately, doesn't look like we have the financial ability right now, or the financial clout, to be able to bring him in. And we have, of course, already asked the board for extra money, and they've given us as much as they're going to give, and we're still trying to work out a deal for Murillo as well. Get the bid of £7 million accepted for Terence Congolo, though, so we can offer him a contract, again offering slightly less than what he's initially asking for, and I would like to get him on a squad rotation option if I possibly can. Chancel and Bemba, though, accepted the squad rotation offer, but of course I will stall on that just to make sure that we don't miss out on the opportunity to perhaps either bring in a better player or him and someone else if we can get 2 deals signed. So we jump into the second of today's 2 games. Of course, in the transfer window, I always only show 2 games as well as the transfer action, because that just kind of makes the video of normal length. As you can see, Juventus are through thanks to a 4-0 win against Chievo Verona. Lazio are through in the Rome derby after a 1-0 win against Roma. So there's still very, very big teams involved in this draw, and Fiorentina, actually, if you remember, were the side that gave us our first defeat in the league this season with a 1-0 win, thanks to a very good goal from Lorenzo Insigne. That was away from home, so we'll be trying to do much better here in this home game. In fact, was it away from home? It may even have been at San Siro, I can't quite remember, but I'm starting a rotation side for this one because unfortunately the game came quite quickly after the one against Pescara, where I started my stronger side. It's just the way that the fixtures fell, and I didn't in fact see this game coming, otherwise I may have played the rotation side against Pescara on my stronger side here against the stronger opposition. But Brozovic gets it through to Lucas Romero, and he scores his first goal of his Inter Milan career to put us 1-0 up after 14 minutes. That's already better than we did last time we played Fiorentina. Lorenzo Insigne was playing for them in this one. They did have an extremely strong side out, and Bernardeschi plays it out wide to Borja Valero here, stands the ball up, and they've got a very good striker up top in Babacar, really strong, tall player, and a good header into the back of the net from him to make it 1-1 just after half time. And then in fact they're going to have a corner here 15 minutes from time. They took off Lorenzo Insigne and brought on Mati Fernandez, who of course is the 5-star skiller. Mario Gomez plays it into Bernardeschi, though. My defence steps, and Giuseppe Rossi gets in behind, beats the goalkeeper at the near post. Again, disappointed to be beaten at the near post like that, but as I face-palmed with them going 2-1 up, it was then Giuseppe Rossi that had to face-palm because he was offside. My defence stepped there, and you can see him, he always tried to check back his run as he knew he was offside, but the ball came before he was able to get himself back the right side of the line. So unfortunately for him, the goal was chalked off and doesn't count. But straight from that opportunity, we're going to come up the other end. Lucas Romero again involved. Dybala just too fast for their defender Stefan Savic, squared across to Marco Sal, and after they made it 2-1 and then had it chalked off at the other end, we do legitimately make it 2-1 at the other end. So now we're in the driving seat to head through to the semi-finals of the Coppa Italia, and of course the board have said that they want us to win the cup, and we've asked for extra money on the premise that we will win the cup, but we're definitely through to the semi-finals now. Lovely link-up play between Brozovic and Marco Sal. He gets a brace, we get 3 goals, they get the 1, and we are through to the semi-finals of the Coppa Italia to face either Juventus, who we've seen already win, Lazio, who we've seen already win, and now even Genoa, who we've seen beat AC Milan, our intercity rivals, 2-1 in the other quarter-final. So three big teams with Juventus, Lazio and Inter, and with full respect to Genoa, they're not necessarily of the same size as the other teams left in the competition, and in the league they sit down in 14th. We currently sit second, so pleased with that so far, and we are still within touching distance of Juventus, and that big 4-0 win against Pescara helps our goal difference as well, so we're now only +7 behind Juve rather than being +11 behind, which could be a big helping hand in helping us get towards that Serie A title. We have pulled 3 points away from Sassuolo now as well. So we'll do our best to try and close up on Juventus in the next episode or two. We'll do our best to try and make sure we get a player in the next episode or two as well. Tomorrow we'll have transfer deadline day and a game against Udinese, and hopefully we'll be able to sign up 1 if not 2 players. But that will bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed. It really does help the channel out when you do so. And of course, check all the links in the description, whether that be to my Twitch, to my Twitter, to my Facebook, Instagram, or to my sponsor G2A, and I will see you next time.